Amid the continued blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. Central Command has released a fresh video showing American forces hitting Iranian naval targets near the Strait of Hormuz.
Decided to share the ocean with Iran. We've given them the bottom half. We've damaged or sunk over 120 of their Navy ships, with battle damage assessments pending for many more. Their surface fleet is no longer a factor. Their submarines, they once had 11, are gone.
Continue to hunt and kill mine storage facilities and naval ammunition depots. We continue to hunt and kill afloat assets, including more than 120 vessels and 44 mine layers, and the pressure will continue.
The Iranian Navy doesn't exist anymore, not in any meaningful sense. Over 120 vessels damaged or destroyed, 11 submarines all gone. Their entire surface fleet wiped from the ocean.
Beneath the Strait of Hormuz, Ajdar, silent, invisible, and waiting.
What just happened in the Strait of Hormuz wasn't a battle. It was systematic erasure. The United States decided to answer decades of threats with overwhelming force, and it took less time than you'd think. 2 carrier strike groups were already positioned perfectly. The USS Abraham Lincoln sat in the Arabian Sea while the USS Gerald R. Ford held station in the Red Sea. Iran was caught in a vice they didn't see closing until it was too late. Both carriers went to full combat readiness simultaneously, creating a coordinated strike envelope that covered every Iranian naval asset in the region. 88 Fa-18 Super Hornets, plus F-35C Lightning IIs. That's the air power deployed from just these 2 carriers alone. The fighters launched in rapid succession, catapults firing one jet after another off the bow. No hesitation, no warning shots. Each pilot had a target list. Lock, fire, move to the next coordinates. Iranian destroyers identified through targeting pods, missiles released, impact confirmed.
These American stealth fighter aircraft are using its indigenously developed air defense systems. The IRGC has even released a video showing the alleged attack.
But the pilots didn't circle back to watch the damage. They were already banking toward the next ship on the list, executing strikes faster than Iran could respond. Below them, vertical launch cells opened on the escort destroyers. Tomahawk cruise missiles erupted in bursts of flame and smoke, arcing skyward before leveling off toward Iranian vessels and shore installations. Each missile carried precise coordinates. Fire mission after fire mission, the barrage didn't stop. This wasn't just about sinking ships. The U.S. targeted mine storage facilities, naval ammunition depots, and military ports. 44 mine layers destroyed.
This new video from U.S. Central Command showing U.S. airstrikes near the Strait of Hormuz, where the president says the U.S. has destroyed Iranian mine-laying ships. The president on Truth Social Monday threatening death, fire, and fury upon Iran if the country stopped the flow of oil through the vital global passage.
Everything Iran needed to threaten commercial shipping through the strait, methodically eliminated. And while the strikes continued above the surface, something else was happening beneath the waves. Iran's submarine fleet, once numbering 11 vessels, faced a different kind of hunt entirely. Anti-submarine warfare doesn't look like the movies. No dramatic depth charge explosions or sonar pings echoing through the hull. It's methodical, surgical, and absolutely unforgiving when executed by the U.S. Navy. Those 11 Iranian submarines never stood a chance. P-8. Poseidon aircraft had been tracking subsurface movement for days before the strikes even began. These aren't your typical patrol planes.
Right now, the United States isn't just watching the Middle East, it's leaning forward. Over the past days, the U.S. has surged high-end surveillance aircraft into the region, most notably the Boeing P-8 Poseidon.
They drop sonobuoys in patterns across vast stretches of ocean, creating acoustic nets that submarines can't slip through undetected. Every diesel engine vibration, every propeller turn, cataloged and triangulated. By the time the order came to engage, American forces already knew where every single Iranian sub was hiding. Attack submarines moved into position silently. Virginia-class boats, the quietest predators ever built, closed distance without Iranian crews realizing death was already beside them. Torpedoes in the water. Multiple contacts eliminated before they could dive deeper or attempt evasive maneuvers. Some never even knew they were being hunted until impact. For the submarines closer to shallow coastal waters,
attacked by the U.S. military, strikes on this drone ship as the Admiral Brad Cooper, the head of Central Command, said Thursday the U.S. forces had sunk more than 30 Iranian ships, including an Iranian drone carrier ship roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier.
Helicopters took over. MH-60R. Seahawks dropped torpedoes with pinpoint accuracy, guided by real-time data from the Poseidons overhead. Coordinated kills across multiple theaters simultaneously.
The Houthi rebels fired at a container ship in the Red Sea and tried to board, but was repelled by the ship's security on board. A U.S. Navy ship received a distress call, who dispatched the Navy's MH-60 Seahawk. The rebels opened fire at the helicopter, in return fired back, and sunk Iranian-backed 3 Houthi boats, killing all rebels on board.
Iran's underwater deterrent vanished in hours. Meanwhile, back on the carriers, the operational tempo never slowed. Mechanics worked in shifts around the clock. Jets cycled through faster than most people thought possible. Launch, strike, land, rearm, launch again. The flight deck became a choreographed blur of organized chaos. Arresting cables caught fighters every few minutes while catapults fired others into the night sky. Resupply helicopters shuttled ammunition and provisions from logistics ships. The strike groups operated as self-sustaining war machines, needing nothing from shore bases to maintain the pressure. Day 3 looked identical to Day 1. Sortie après sortie. Target after target. When it finally ended, Iran's entire naval capability had been reduced to debris and wreckage. No fleet, no submarines, no ability to threaten a single tanker passing through the strait. The ocean belonged to whoever controlled the air above it, and that answer had never been clearer.